Welcome, friends. My name is Chris. I'm from Transformation Nation Yoga and Wellness. Welcome to Gentle Vinyasa. In our practice today, we're going to be working on thoracic spine, the center of the back, to be safe, to be effective, to get the most out of your practice today. The props that I think you'll most benefit from are two foam or cork yoga blocks. And there's one pose that we're doing for which it might be nice to have a yoga bolster. If you don't have a yoga bolster, please don't give up on the practice. You could do it with blocks. If you don't have blocks, please don't give up on the practice. There are modifications that you can do without props, and I'll cue for those as well. So pause your recording, gather up your props, roll out your mat, and when you're ready, press play, and I'll meet you on your mat for gentle vinyasa. All right, so we're going to start out in something to open the heart, the chest up a little bit. So I'm going to do a heart bench for which I'll use two blocks. But if you prefer restorative fish, this is a little bit more of a gentle start, and we'll have lots of opportunities to build on this throughout the practice. For restorative fish, lay a bolster across your mat such that the long edge of the bolster is parallel to the long edge of your mat. Come onto your seat with good body mechanics. Start to lower your torso down onto the bolster and tee your arms out to the side. You could have your legs straight. You could do a constructive rest position with a generous bend in the knees, the soles of your feet on the earth, knees coming into one another, or bring the soles of your feet together with the pinky edge blades of your feet on the earth. Let gravity draw your knees down to the earth. So this restorative fish is one option. The other option, and what I'm going to choose for me today, is a heart bench, for which we substitute one block at a medium height for the bolster, and I don't know, 6 or 8 inches behind that, a second block. And then the bottom edge of this block, ooh, ooh, sits at the bottom of the rib cage. Lower your spine down, release the back of your head down to the block. Again, tee your arms out to the side. Start to draw some deeper breaths. And there's often such a rush to get to a class in time that the mind still continues to be rushing as we're trying to settle in. So if that's happening for you, just notice that. It's okay. Isn't that interesting? My mind is racing. And then start to shift your attention to the sensations that you're feeling here. Maybe the sensations of the deeper breath or the impact of those deeper breaths on your nervous system. But here specifically, notice the sense of your shoulder blades drawing down toward the earth on either side of either your bolster or your blocks. This area of the center back, it can get pretty locked up for people, and especially given the sedentary indoor nature of our jobs and the fact that we spend so much time working on keyboards and phones, we tend to end up rounding forward. So it's skillful sometimes just to take some time to reverse the constructive forces on our body's tissues and open the heart. If you're not doing so already, start to shift into an ujjayi breath, constricting the whisper muscles at the base of your throat. It's an audible ocean sound as you inhale through the nose, as you exhale through the nose. Check in for any clenching or gripping here, maybe in the jaw, maybe in the shoulders, the belly, the hips. And the most important thing is that we notice it. But once you've noticed it, that opens up the opportunity, the option to choose to start to release it as well. Don't change anything for now. We're going to start a transition to tabletop. So I don't care how you get there. I do care very much that you use good body mechanics. So for me, this is going to start with lifting my chin and drawing it toward the chest, drawing my arms into center, and then roll off to one side onto a forearm off your blocks of your bolster. And then frame your body, find a tabletop shape, like a quadruped position, like a child crawling, with your hands and elbows shoulder width apart, shoulders floating over your wrists, hips floating over your knees. And we're going to start out with some rhomboid push-ups. So the goal here is that the arms stay straight. On an inhale, drop just your chest down toward the earth. Feel the space between your shoulder blades close together. Back of the head is buoyant, roughly in line with the back of your heart. And then as you exhale, puff the space between your shoulder blades up toward the heavens. Maybe release your chin to your chest. Inhale, back of the head becomes buoyant. Chest draws toward the earth, shoulder blades close together. So round through your shoulders, puff the space between your shoulder blades skyward. Move through 5 more iterations of this at the cadence and the pace of your own breath. And then wrap up the round that you're working on now. Come back into a neutral spine. And let's do just some plain vanilla cat rolling. So index fingers at 12 o'clock, ground into your index knuckle and thumb. On an inhale, drop your belly down toward the earth, shift your gaze forward, drag the heels of your hands back toward your knees. Exhale, press into your hands, press into your shins, the tops of your feet, round through your shoulders. Inhale, drop your belly, open your heart, maybe tuck the toes. Exhale, round through your shoulders. 5 more rounds at the cadence and the pace of your own breath. Finish up the last one that you're working on. Stay right where you are. I'm just going to turn and face you to demonstrate for the next shape. Come into a neutral spine position. Now tuck your toes under your feet. Draw your knees in together to center. They don't touch. That's okay. If that doesn't feel good for your hip, leave a little space. Walk your feet out wide, maybe full mat width apart. And then draw your left hand under your sternum. Take your right hand to the base of your skull, right elbow for now, parallel to the earth. And then on an inhale breath, squeeze your legs together, lift your right elbow up toward the heavens. Exhale, release your right elbow just to the horizon. Inhale, squeeze the legs, lift the elbow. Exhale, come back to the horizon. 4 more rounds at the cadence and the pace of your own breath. And then come back to stillness. Release your right hand down to the mat. Right away, take it right under your sternum. Left hand at the base of your skull. Left elbow parallel to the earth. Inhale. Squeeze your legs together. Lift your left elbow up toward the heavens. Exhale. Whole left arm parallel to the earth. Inhale. Squeeze and lift. Exhale. Back to center. 4 more rounds. Come back to center, release both hands to the earth, release the knees back to neutral, and then come into a hero's pose. Grab 2 blocks, place them stacked in between your heels at a medium height, and then sit back onto the heels. Knees can be together, they can be a little bit apart, but stack your joints, float your head over your shoulder, over your hips, and just feel for what's going on in your lower body. And if you've got some space, feel free to reach back, remove 1 block, lower your seat down to the second block. And same thing, I'm home. I'm not going anywhere from here. If you've got more space, you could reach back, remove the second block, allow your seat to come down to the earth. That doesn't feel great in my body. And then bring your hands, fingers, forearms, elbows all together in front of you. Elbows just above the sternum. And squeeze. Press them together, breathing the whole time. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Maybe some shaking here already, minor shaking. Inhale. As you exhale, lift your elbows 2 inches. Continue to press everything together. Inhale. Exhale, lift the elbows another 2 inches. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Lift the elbows up as high as you can while squeezing. Fingers, hands, forearms, elbows together. And then relax, shake your arms out. And then come back to center. Hands, fingers, wrists, forearms, elbows, squeeze together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale right here. Exhale, release your right hand to the heart. Gaze to the right. Open your right arm out wide so the right shoulder blade squeezes back to center. Inhale, come back into center. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, left hand to your heart. Gaze to the left. Open that left arm like a bird deploying a wing. Inhale, come back to center. Squeeze. Open right. Inhale. Center. Squeeze. Open left. Inhale. Center. Squeeze. Open right. Inhale. Center. Squeeze. Open left. Inhale. Center. One last time. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 3 breaths. Breathing the whole time. Inhale. Exhale. Release your arms. Maybe shake your arms out again. And then make your way into a tabletop position. Take a look. Index fingers of both hands making the shape of a number 11. Press down into your index, knuckle, and thumb. On an inhale, tuck your toes under your feet. Exhale, press your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Find some gentle movements in your lower body to warm your legs. And then find some stillness. Let your gravity draw your heels down in the general direction of the earth. Press down into your index knuckle and thumb again. Relax your neck. Drop your elbows another 2 inches down toward the earth and then tweeze them together as if you were squeezing a beach ball. Breathe. Relax your neck. Two more breaths. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, take as many steps as you need. Come up to ragdoll at the top edge of your mat. Feet hip distance apart. Generous bend in your knees. Whole belly resting in your thighs. And relax your neck. Shift the weight into the balls of your feet, light in the heels. Not quite lifted, just light. Start to heel toe your feet together. Shift the weight into your heels, find a halfway lift. Long, straight spine from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Maybe a generous bend of the knees. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press down into your feet. Rise. Sweep your arms up over your head. Exhale, slice your hands down to your sternum. Heart center. Inhale, lift your fingertips up, lift your gaze, look at your hands. Exhale, tee your arms out to the side, pinkies reach for the earth, thumbs reach for the stars. On an inhale, start to turn your thumbs back behind you, lift your gaze, draw your shoulder blades in together. Exhale, sweep fingers, hands, wrists together in front of you, release your chin to your chest, press the space between your shoulder blades back behind you. Inhale, come back to teed out arms. Exhale, hinge at the hips into a forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, step back into a high plank, a high push-up position, maybe on the knees. Press down into your index, knuckle, and thumb. Back of the head is buoyant. Puff the space between your shoulder blades skyward. And then on an exhale, hands and elbows shoulder width apart, come down to your belly. And then press your fingertips forward until your shoulders are floating over your elbows. Press down into your index, knuckle, and thumb. Press the tops of your feet into the earth until your knees lift. Find the motion as if you were trying to crawl your way forward, dragging your elbows back toward the waist. Weight of the body will keep the arms from moving. And relax your belly. Inhale. Exhale, lower your heart down to the earth, draw your hands under your shoulders, press up and back into downward facing dog. On an inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or step to the top of your mat. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, slice your hands down into heart center. Inhale, fingertips reach for the stars, lift your gaze. Exhale, tee your arms out to the side. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, come back into teed out arms. Exhale, hinge into a forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, step back into high planks. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, lower down to your belly. Go back to Sphinx or hands under your shoulders. Pull the heels of your hands back towards your waist. Lift your heart, easy cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, move to the top edge of your mat. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Come all the way up to standing. Exhale, slice your hands down into heart center. Inhale, reach your fingertips toward the stars. Exhale, tee your arms out to the side. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, come back into teed out arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, step back into high plank. Inhale, rock forward on your toes. Flip your shoulders over your wrists in high or modified plank. Exhale, come halfway down. Inhale, any heart opener, maybe upward facing dog. With your shoulders floating over your wrists, your hips swaying down toward the earth, weight on the tops of the feet. Exhale, downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Ground down into your index, knuckle, and thumb again. Squeeze your elbows together again. Relax your neck. On an inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, move to the top edge of your mat. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sit back into Utkatasana, chair pose. Feet and knees either together or up to hip distance apart. Long, straight spine. Maybe hands on the thighs. Maybe hands at heart center. Maybe warrior one arms, fingertips reaching for the stars, shoulder blades drying back toward the back edge of your mat. Shift the weight into your heels. Lighten the balls of your feet. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, step back into high plank. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, any heart opener of your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift your right heel up toward the heavens. And as you exhale, step your right foot forward. Replace your right hand with your right foot. Come into warrior one. So left toes oriented roughly 9 o'clock, 9 or 10 o'clock. Take a look down at your right foot, and if the knee is coming forward to the heel, walk that knee forward. Hands can both be on that front thigh. That's warrior one. Hands are heart center. Or fingertips reach for the stars. Press down into all 4 corners of your right foot and the pinky edge blade of your left foot and breathe. Breathing the whole time. Inhale. Exhale, release your hands down to the earth, step back into high plank. Inhale in high plank, exhale low plank, any version. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift your left heel up toward the heavens. Exhale, step it forward, warrior one. Traditionally, this is taught with a heel-to-heel alignment. That doesn't feel good at all on my body. My heels, my feet are mat width apart. All of those are correct. All of those are doing it right. Ground down into the feet. Inhale. Exhale, release your hands down to the earth. Step back into high plank. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, move to the top edge of your mat. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sit back into chair pose. One breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, step back into high plank. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift your right heel up toward the heavens. Exhale, step that right heel forward, rise up into warrior one. Inhale in warrior one. Exhale, open up into Virabhadrasana, warrior two. So pinky edge blade of your left foot now parallel with the back edge of your mat. Maybe your arms parallel to the earth, fingertips reaching forward toward the top edge of your mat. Try to stack the joints. Float your head over your shoulders, over your hips. Now shift your gaze over the left-hand edge of your mat. On an inhale, start to turn your thumbs back. Lift your gaze, draw your shoulder blades together. This time rounding to the shoulders. As you exhale, turn the palms facing down and then up in the opposite direction. Release your chin to your chest. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. And then on your next inhale, come back to conventional warrior two arms. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the earth, step back into high plank, low plank. Any heart opener, and then downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift your left heel up toward the heavens. Exhale, reach it forward, warrior one. Ground down solid in your warrior one on an inhale. Exhale, open up into warrior two. Shift your gaze over the right-hand edge of your mat. On an inhale, flip your palms, start to turn your thumbs back behind you, lift your gaze. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Your next inhale, come back into warrior two arms. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the earth. Step back into high plank and either press directly into downward facing dog or float through a vinyasa at the cadence of your own breath. Draw a deep, 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 deep breath through your nose. Open your mouth, let it go with a sound good. One more. Deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth. On your next inhale, lift your right heel up toward the heavens. Exhale, step it forward. Gently tap your left knee down to the earth. Right hand on your right thigh, left hand on your left thigh, top of your left foot presses into the earth, Anjaneyasana. Engage your left glute a little bit and release your hips any amount closer down toward that right heel. Now we're going to start to transition from right hand on that right thigh to right elbow. Shift forward, so still a long straight spine. Dangle your left arm directly under your left shoulder like it was totally lifeless. No blood, no muscle, no energy, just a dead arm. Transition back, right hand on the right shin, right thigh rather, stack joints. Start to float the fingers of your left hand forward, thumb reaching for the stars, pinky reaching for the earth, and overextend like you were reaching out of that left shoulder socket. And then on an inhale, start to float the fingers of your left hand skyward, pulling out of the shoulder socket, follow with your gaze. As you exhale, drop your gaze down to the earth, circle that left arm wide behind you, pulling in the shoulder socket the whole time. Inhale, now as the left arm lifts, follow with your gaze. Exhale, drop your gaze to the front. Powerfully sweep that left arm back behind you. Inhale, rise on the inhale. Gaze in, hand rise. Exhale, gaze and arm drop. This time we're going to pause on the top. Inhale, lift both the fingers and the gaze up. Reach out of the fingers for the heavens. And then as you exhale, drop both your gaze and your fingers powerfully to the front. Inhale, sweep it back behind you. Lift your gaze to meet the fingers. Exhale, sweep forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, set. Inhale, rise. Pause at the top. And then as you exhale, release your right hand to the top, your left hand to the top of your right. Start to sit back into a half split. Straighten that right leg. I'm going to set a block under my right glute and stay lifted with stacked joints or fold forward over that right thigh. Inhale. Exhale. Rock forward, Anjaneyasana first, and then release your hands down to the earth. Step back into a downward facing dog or flow through a vinyasa. From downward facing dog, lift your left heel skyward, closed hips facing down toward the earth. Exhale, step your left foot forward, tap the right knee down. Anjaneyasana. Left hand on the left thigh, right hand rests on the left. Engage your glutes. Release your hips forward toward that left heel. And breathe. Inhale. As you exhale, transition from left hand to left forearm on that left thigh. Drop your right arm right under the shoulder. Totally dead in that right arm. As relaxed as you can make it. Maybe twitch a little. If there's any kind of energy in that right arm, see if you can twitch and release it. If you visualize any stress or tension draining down through your arms, down through the hand, out the tips of the fingers and into the earth. And then transition left hand to left thigh, stack joints, sweep your right arm forward, powerfully. Thumb reaching for the stars, pinky reaching for the earth. Push the fingers forward so you can feel that shoulder socket starting to pull out of the right shoulder socket. Breathe. On an inhale, powerfully lift. The fingers of the right hand skyward, follow with your gaze. As you exhale, drop your gaze to the front. Powerfully sweep that right arm back behind you. Inhale, rise on your inhale. Exhale, set on the exhale. Inhale, rise on the inhale. Exhale, set. One more time, we'll pause at the top. Inhale, rise. Lift, lift, lift out of those fingers. And this time, both gaze and right arm sweep forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, set. Inhale, rise. Exhale, set. Inhale, rise. Find a gentle pause here. Good. Exhale, right hand to the top of your left. Maybe grab a block. Sit back into a half split. Same options. Stack joints or fold forward. On your next inhale, come forward through Anjaneyasana into a high plank. And then from high plank, press directly into downward facing dog. Relax your neck first. And then on an inhale, bend your knees. Look forward. Exhale, walker step to the top edge of your mat. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, slice your hands down through heart center, and then down by your waist, palms face forward. Heels together, maybe a little bit of a gap between the toes. Weight in the heels, more heavily weighted in the heels. And then start to push your heels apart like you could slide them toward the outside edges of your mat. The weight of the body keeps the heels from moving, but we're engaging those muscles as if we could. Press the thighs apart. Maybe a little bit of a tuck, belly button towards your sternum. And then spread even your sits bones apart toward the outside edges of your mat. Breathe. And relax your legs. Put the ground down into all four corners of your left foot. Lift your right knee, maybe right leg parallel to the earth. And then take the fingers of your left hand, reach them forward. Thumb points toward the stars, pinky toward the earth. Open your right arm out to your right. And then pull. Fingers of your left hand pulling forward past the top edge of your mat. Fingers of your right hand drawing back behind you. So the shoulder sockets being stretched, gently stretched in either direction. Find a single point of focus for your gaze. And breathe. Breathe the whole time. Stay right here, or maybe draw that right hand even further back behind you. Find more of a twist. As you start to notice the twisting sensation of the rib cage opening to the right, can you draw your hips ever so slightly back toward the left? And then sweep the right arm forward, release your right foot down to the earth, release your hands, maybe shake your arms out. And then we'll change sides, ground down into all four corners of your right foot, lift your left knee, bend in that left leg, fingers of your right hand reach forward past the top edge of your mat, open your left arm back behind you, start to shift your gaze back. Fingers of the right hand gently tugging forward, fingers of the left hand tugging back behind you. Feeling for a sense of expansiveness in that area in the center of your back. Shift the fingers of your left hand forward, release the left foot down, shake your arms out again. And then on an inhale, sweep your arms up over your head, lift your gaze, maybe push the hips a little forward, take a little back bend, exhale, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, step back into high plank. Tap your knees down to the earth, hands and elbows stay shoulder width apart, lower down to your belly, and then tee your arms out to the side, goalpost arms. So fingers and elbows roughly in line. And then on an inhale, start to push your pubic bone down to the earth. Lift your legs, lift your shoulders up off the earth. Start to draw your shoulder blades together more, like you were pinching a broomstick in between your shoulder blades. Lift up any amount more. And then lower everything down to the earth. Release your left chin to your left cheek to the earth. Lift your right knee in the general direction of your right elbow. Start to shift your right knee back behind you. Gaze comes back to neutral. On an inhale, press into your pubic bone. Lift your legs. Flex your toes back towards your face. Lift your arms. Draw your shoulder blades together. Powerful. One more breath. Exhale, lower everything down to the earth. Rest your right cheek on the mat. Lift your left elbow any amount closer, or your left knee any amount closer to your left elbow. Half frog. Start to shift your left knee back down the line with your right. Bring your gaze to neutral. Bring your hands under your shoulder first, and then come back to Sphinx. We did this earlier in the practice. Make the shape of a number 11 with your forearms. But this time, tuck your toes under your feet. Engage. I told you to soften your belly before. This time, engage your belly and lift up onto the knees. So see if you can find one long straight line along the back line of the body. This modified forearm plank, and stay here, or lift your knees. Throw your belly button to your spine. Breathe. Puff the space between your shoulder blades up toward the stars and leave the back of your head buoyant, more or less in line with the back of your heart. Inhale right here. Exhale, release your knees down to the earth, hips down to the earth, tops of your feet down to the earth. Relax your belly. Sphinx pose, dragging your elbows back towards your waist. Start to draw your belly button towards your spine. Tuck your toes. Lift up any version of a forearm plank. And breathe. Belly button to spine. And then make your way into Sphinx pose. Tuck your toes under your feet. Any forearm plank. And then Sphinx pose. Draw your hands under your shoulders. Lower your heart down to the earth. Then press up and back into downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift your right heel up toward the heavens. Exhale, sweep that right knee to the outside of the right wrist. So nice and wide. Maybe creep that heel, that right heel, any amount forward, and then release your left leg back behind you. Maybe walk that left leg long behind you. You can stay lifted, maybe right hand on the right knee, left hand on the instep of that right foot, or fold forward into any version of a half pigeon. Great place for a block or a bolster under the heart here. If you stay lifted, watch for there's a tendency here for the hip to roll off to the right. See if you can keep it centered. And then disengage and relax the arms so you have just enough pressure from the arms to keep the body centered and stable. But the weight of the body is pressing the hips down toward the earth and open. If you find fierceness or rigidity in the gaze, see if you can soften them. So eyes closed is fine. Eyes open with a soft gaze, also fine. All right. If you've released forward, start to lift yourself back up. Frame the body. Float your shoulders over your wrists. Step back into downward facing dog. Maybe shake those hips out a little bit. And then lift your left leg up toward the heavens. Step the left knee forward and wide. Half pigeon on the second side. Left shin could be parallel to the top edge of your mat for most bodies, probably will not. Again, feel free to walk that right knee further back behind you and stay lifted or fold forward. If you fold it forward, start to lift yourself back up. Float your shoulders over your wrist once more. Step back into downward facing dog. Maybe shake your hips out a little and then tap your knees down to the earth. Come onto your back using good body mechanics for Supta Baddha Konasana. Placing the soles of your feet together, pinky edge blades of your feet on the earth. Maybe blocks under the knees for now. You can see the arms out to the side. You can have hands, palms facing down on the bottom of your rib cage. Arms released up over your head, whatever feels healing, organic, and comfortable here. And part of my motivation here to ask you to put blocks under the knees is so that they're close by for your final resting shape. We've got a couple more shapes that we're going to take, and then we'll transition to the final resting shape. I'll offer you one option that I feel like is supportive of the work that we've done today. But if there's something else that your body is calling for, ignore my advice and go with the wisdom of your body. Maybe with the assistance of the hands on the outside of the thighs, maybe not draw your knees into center. And then draw your right knee towards your right shoulder. Interlace both fingers on the right shin. Release your left leg long along your mat. Flex all 10 toes back towards your face. And use the strength of your arms to draw your right knee towards your right shoulder. And then release your right arm out to the side, tee it off to the side. Maybe shift your hips over to the right. Start to draw your left knee across the center line of your body into a supine twist. Option if you like to gaze out over the fingers of your right hand. And start to draw your right knee back up into center. Place the soles of both feet on the earth. Bend your left knee towards your left shoulder. And release the hands on the shin. Lengthen your right leg long. Flex all 10 toes back towards your face. Draw your left knee any amount closer to your left shoulder. And then whenever you're ready, tee your left arm out to the side. Draw your left knee over toward the earth, any amount closer toward the right hand edge of your mat. And draw your left knee back to center. Find any final resting shape. The one I'm going to suggest for today, use good body mechanics getting here. Well, one option that builds on what we worked on today, have both blocks shoulder width apart at a medium height. Rest your shoulders at the tops of your blocks, palms reach down for your waist, palms up, and then just release down to the earth. Come back to a comfortable, natural breath, regardless of your final resting shape. Change nothing for now. You could stay right here, change nothing, and still be doing it right, honoring your body. Or you could begin to take some deeper breaths. Either approach is right, appropriate, correct. You have the option to begin to reanimate your body with small movements, maybe wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. If that felt good, you might choose to go from medium-sized movements to large movements, or small movements to medium-sized movements, rather, rotating your hands at the wrists, your feet at the ankles. And then maybe medium-sized movements to large movements. If you're on your belly and you want to do a full body stretch, swing your arms forward, press the blocks out of the way, reach the tips of your fingers forward, tuck your toes, press your heels back behind you. On your belly, you could also relax your upper body, put a bend in your knees, and then just drop your ankles from one side to the other like a set of windshield wipers. And eventually, make your way into a fetal position on either side. 4 breaths right here. And while you're breathing, check in. Notice how you're feeling. Notice the quality of the connective tissues in the center of your back, perhaps. Notice the quality of your nervous system as well. And again, you always have the option of closing out your practice right here. Otherwise, press yourself up into any seated position, facing your device. You can do anything you want with your hands. I'm going to choose thumbs at my sternum, hands at heart center. You could do that or anything else that you like. Thank you, friends, for trusting me to guide you through your practice today. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you know peace. If you move to do so, slide your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows, the Ajna chakra. Blessings to you and your family. And that concludes our practice for today. Great job, friends. Again, my name is Chris. I'm from Transformation Nation Yoga and Wellness. You're doing amazing. Keep going.